chest-bursting babies, shovels to the face, and the scariest thing of all, Lamaze class. Into the Dark Season 2's Delivered makes me never want to have a baby.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the ending, explaining some of its hidden details and the significance of what our main character ended up calling her baby. So ignore all calls from your baby daddy, because here we go. Delivered tells the story of Valerie Coates, a pregnant counselor from Chicago who's moved to Colorado to escape her ex, Riley. While her husband Tom is excited to be starting this new chapter of their life, Valerie isn't. The thought of having a child scares her. She's not ready to be a mom. She hates being sick all the time, continually puts off building their baby's crib, and not to mention she knows that Tom isn't the real father. Riley is. If it were up to Val, she probably wouldn't want this baby at all, which is why she's contrasted with the antagonist of the film, Jenny. And yes, that's the same actress who played Deb in Napoleon Dynamite. Jenny so wants a child that she fakes being pregnant to attend Lamaze classes to scope out her victims. As we'll find out later, Jenny keeps a record of her previous victims, all pregnant women. She has their cars locked up in her barn and profiles of their personality traits. Here we can see Valerie's: no family, naive, unhappy, and not ready to be a mom. If Valerie is going to grow as a character and embrace the child she eventually gives birth to, she's going to have to realize the importance of life, which is why she ends up naming her daughter Ava, which is derived from Latin and Hebrew for life. While Val struggles with the idea of becoming a mother, there is nothing Jenny wants more.
I know this sounds silly, but it feels like it's the only thing that I've ever wanted.
Jenny is obsessed with having a child. She refers to Val's as her own and even recreates childbirth with a doll. So she invites Val and Tom up to her secluded home where she drugs Valerie and brutally murders Tom with an axe. This obsession was brought upon by the trauma of her past. Near the end of the film, we learn that Jenny had abusive parents who, when they found out she was pregnant, cut out her baby. She ended up killing her parents and losing the child, and now cuts out babies from other women so that she can have her own. It's implied that her parents' procedure on her made it so that she can't have her own child, hence her needing to find other means of obtaining one. Jenny's previous attempts at capturing a pregnant mother so she can have their child didn't go over so well.
I don't want you to worry about last time. This time, everything is gonna be perfect.
She's been performing botched C-sections, but feels that this time with Val will be different. It's going to work. At the beginning of the film, she mentions that she's a pediatric nurse, but later Val finds this convenient box of exposition which shows us that she was just an office manager. Meanwhile, Riley, who was supposed to meet with Val to discuss their baby, has been ghosted. So he does what any crazy ex does and breaks into her home. Well, technically he found the key under the mat. And finds the address to Jenny's place. His rescue mission is short-lived, however, and he's taken out and beaten with a shovel. But Val's able to whack Jenny with her own chains and is able to escape. What happens next is a crazy game of chicken in which Jenny and Val almost collide before Val veers off course. Jenny has been so concerned over the safety of the child up until this point, I guess a near fatal game of chicken didn't cross her mind. Val ends up tied to the bed just like Paul Sheldon in the 1990 film Misery. In fact, much of the film is an homage to that. Both films take place in Colorado and feature scenes in which the captive protagonist is tied to a bed and hobbled. Jenny tells Val that she had to do what she had to in order to survive, referring to the murder of her own parents. Would Val be willing to do the same? To murder in order to live? Earlier in the film, Val has a nightmare where she's about to stab Jenny, but she doesn't go through with it. Jenny says,
You don't have what it takes.
But if Val is to survive and save her baby, she'll need to do just that. Right before Val devises a plan to take on Jenny, she has a conversation with her unborn child, which shows how her character has changed up until this point. Whereas before Val only thought about herself, getting her body back, and not being sick, she's now putting her child first.
To think about all the things you could be. How you'd smile. Could you wear? What it would be like to even look at you.
she is now ready to complete her character arc, tricking Jenny into thinking she killed her own child, when actually it was just Jenny's cat, and using the element of surprise, kills her. I guess we now know she has what it takes. Val is rescued by the police and gives birth shortly after. There's even a fake out where the nurse turns into Jenny, just like how Paul Sheldon sees Annie Wilkes at the end of Misery. Val has completed her arc, turning from selfish, unhappy mother-to-be to selfless, happy mother to a beautiful daughter. I guess we'll just brush over the fact her husband and baby daddy died. Thanks everyone for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out my other videos. For more bad takes, follow me on Twitter at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.